Hello!
Hello! Happy holiday season, you guys. We are back on another beautiful Wednesday. The sun is shining. The sleigh bells are sleighing. Welcome to
Santa's near.
It is.
Santa's near.
Are you ready for Christmas?
No, girl. I know that you were ready in like May because you're real good at that. No, girl. I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, but we're going to make it through.
You guys, I love Christmas is my favorite holiday for one, but it's the craziest time of the year. So I start Christmas shopping in the summer and then am done by November because I don't want to have to think about that.
Yeah.
But as you know, we are pre-recording and you can see wonderful holiday boxes for packaging.
Oh yeah, I see all that.
Yes. But the Christmas trees are coming. So
yeah, how many you got? Are you going to add any this year?
I am. We are in the process of doing don't. Tommy was like, I love you. And I love that you get into the spirit, but is this necessary?
Do you have a storage unit for all of this?
No, I just take over my husband's garage and hang stuff from the roof and the rafters. And we should, like, Arizona doesn't have basements. We should 100%.
I know. Texas doesn't either. And it's really annoying.
Yeah, I need that. No, I'm going to start decorating for Christmas next week. So I have 7 Christmas trees.
Girl.
And then we are doing our backyard. And so I'm having a wood burning fireplace built. And okay, this is how ridiculous this is. My husband's like, do we need it? I'm like, yes, we do. Because at Christmas, I need to hang garland and put a Christmas tree outside.
Of course. Oh, yeah. No, when we were looking for houses, literally, Mike thought it was like, I was being so ridiculous. But I'm like looking at houses and I'm like, where would the Christmas tree go?
Yes. Yes.
We need a Christmas tree moment environment.
Yes. When we built out our fireplace inside the house, they're like, well, we don't need a mantle. I'm like, yes, we do. Where's my garland and stockings going? So my life revolves around like, how can I in Christmas? So I have a cookie room Christmas tree. So I'm so excited this year to put it up with the remodel.
Girl, I think I decided, Mike and I talked about it. I'm going to turn the cookie room into a pop-up Christmas shop.
Oh, I love that because you have those beautiful doors too.
Yes, yeah. So we're going to Christmas it out in here. I'm really excited about that. So
yeah, next time you guys see us recording, you'll probably see the beautiful garland and Christmas lights and extraness. So extra that you guys, I just replaced the lights on the front of my house to carriage lights because I bought Christmas teardrop swag and I was like, oh, it's not going to look good. He's like,
it's worth it. That's worth that. Is worth that.
So with all the beautiful Christmas talk, you guys, welcome to another round of Christmas Cookie Challenge interviews.
Yay! I hope that you guys had a chance to watch last week. We got some deep dive background discussions from Miss Chelsea, our resident Food Network Christmas Cookie Challenge participant.
Yay!
So, this week, girl, I am so excited. We have had her on our list to bring on here and chat for some time now. And we thought, what better way to do that than with the Christmas Cookie Challenge? Because I feel like she's slowly becoming the queen of the Christmas Cookie Challenge world.
Right?
What do you think?
I agree. And you guys have all requested her name multiple times. We love it. Spoiler alert, if you have not watched her episode or this show, you can exit out if you want to know the ending and go back and watch. But we are going to bring on the wonderful, the beautiful, the sweetly talented Miss SweetDoughCookieCo and our ultimate Christmas Cookie Challenge winner.
Champion!
Welcome, Ashlee!
You guys, what an intro! Oh my gosh!
Hello!
You deserve it.
All over my body.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling good.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Now that everybody has seen it, are you like? Do you feel relieved that people know is the secret's out?
Yeah, definitely relieved.
Do you think it was harder to keep this one a secret or your first one?
I think my first one, just because now that this is like my second time doing it, I feel a lot more comfortable and just ready to watch it. So
okay, so quickly, just so that people know, so You have been on Christmas Cookie Challenge twice now.
Yes.
So the first time you were on, how long ago was it? What was the episode name and number so that people can go back and rewatch that if they missed it?
Okay, so first episode was aired last November, and it's season 4, episode 4, and it's called Visions of Christmas. So
Visions of
that's
Christmas.
when I was on last time. Yeah.
Awesome. And so then we just recently saw you.
I know. So this is the all-star episode. So they took winners from all previous episodes and seasons. They put us all together, and then we competed for the all-star title.
So amazing. I've been wondering when they were finally going to do an all-star Christmas Cookie Challenge episode.
I was wondering that too, but I had no idea that it would be me on it.
So what was that like? Did they call you? Did they email you? How did you get invited to do that?
So funny story. When I came back from filming, the first episode, I told my husband, I was like, I am never going to be on TV again.
So many people say that.
Yeah.
They're like, it was
His
one time
last word.
Yeah. 3 months later, I get a call, and they're like, hey, it's been really hard to get a hold of you, but do you want to be on another episode? And I said, yes, I do. Sign me up. And I don't know why.
Quickly, why was your immediate reaction, I don't want to do it again? Was it just stress? Was it just like, yeah?
Yeah. The stress is just, when you're in that, it's like a huge like set. And so when you're in that atmosphere, you're like, the stress, the anxiety, the time crunch, just everything combined. Oh yeah, it's a lot, but it's rewarding too. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, when you did your first episode, when you went to go film that, how long had you been doing cookies? Had you had your business? Kind of give us the background on that.
Okay, so I was a cookie decorator for 2 years, and then they called me. I applied when I was like 6 months into decorating, and now I know why they didn't call me. But they kept my information, and then I got better as time went on, and I think they thought that I would be okay to be on the Christmas Cookie Challenge.
So did you apply again, or they reached out to you?
They reached out to me.
They reached out to you from there. Yes. That's awesome. Were you full-time? Had you stopped your corporate job at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you applied, because that was different. We were just talking about this on my interview last week, is when I had done it, I didn't know anybody, like there was no like apply now on their site.
Right.
So what did that process kind of look like? Was it just?
So I know I had to fill out like a lot of in-depth questions about like all my recipes, how I got started baking, why I love to bake, why, just like super in-depth. And I spent so long trying to answer those questions, thinking that like I could really break them and they'll be like, ooh, Ashlee, let's put her on. But no, my cookies were like, you guys, I'll show you pictures after we're done. No wonder they didn't call me
Started
back,
from the bottom, now you're here.
Yeah, actually send them to us because we'll share them in our stories.
I will.
Yes.
It's embarrassing, but that just means practice makes you a little better. So
there's no other way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No shortcuts there.
No,
not at all.
I wish there was.
All right. So with your first experience, obviously we've all seen the episode, the nerves. You talked about it a little bit with keeping the secret. How were the stakes different being on round 2, already knowing what's coming at you? How did you, was it the stakes higher? Was the stress higher? What did you think on that?
Well, I feel like my nerves were a little more settled just because I already did it before, but the challenges were so much harder. So and then the time limit, we got more time on the second round because it was massive. What we're building is just massive. So,
which we will have all seen by now, but I'm so excited personally.
Yes. Yeah. But second time my nerves were down, but I was still running around like with my head chopped off the entire time. And of course I was wearing boots again, like those tall little booties. Yeah. I probably ran like 5 miles back and forth around the kitchen and just going.
Yes, so funny. What is it that you had taken away from knowing what you knew from doing it the first go around? how did you prepare differently? What was your mindset different?
Okay, yeah. I have to say, the biggest thing that I'll push and the biggest advice that I could give is work on your speed. If you are a fast cookie decorator and you're efficient, you guys, that's like the golden ticket.
I've heard this multiple times that you're like crazy fast. I know the CookieCon from like not this past year, but the year before when you did the cheese platter.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, she's just like,
it plays in your favor.
It really does. But I had no idea I was fast until people were telling me that I was fast because I work by myself, you know, and no one sees me. But
what was your career before cookies?
I was a cake decorator.
Oh, okay. So you have background in it. Okay.
Yeah, little background. And then I transitioned into cookies 3 years ago. So
okay.
Yeah.
I think with you saying that, because obviously like with my experience in it, is do you feel that it has to do with how many, because you're a full-time baker like myself.
Yeah.
How many orders we take on a week and such, like we have that 4-day window that we're like, this has to be, you have to keep going. There's no downtime.
No.
Yeah.
You kind of are just on to one set to the next.
Yes.
Do you think that plays in your favor during competing?
Definitely.
Not just the speed factor, but the speed of like creativity that you have to work at. Because like Chelsea and I were talking about this last week. I'm a part-time baker. I like to sketch and let things marinate. And like
I was like, there's no time for that.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's like I print out all my orders for the week. And then once I'm baking and going, it's so hard some days to be like, okay, first I have to do a Spider-Man set, then a bridal shower set, then a wedding set. And you're like constantly changing and it's exhausting in here.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I would love to see, I know that your your Instagram feed is like boho chic dreams, but I know that like you don't just make that stuff. Like you do all over the gambit. Like I want to see, you need to show us on your stories of like,
I know.
Like just a quick clips of like everything that you've done that week.
I know. I need to. But then it's so bad because if I don't love it and I'm not in love with the theme, I'm like, okay, let's just move on to the next one. I know.
Get through it.
No, I know that thought process. And I've talked about it to my husband and other people is when I see a picture sometimes at the end, I'm like, oh, wait, I actually really like that theme. But in the process, because you're going so fast from set to set creatively in your mind I don't look at it as a set. I look at like cookie, like, okay, I need 4 of this design. Okay, that's done. Right. It's never a full, like I don't step back and put it all together and I'm like, what detail can be added here? There's no time for that.
Yeah. Oh, there are so many times that I like go to bed and I'll be like, I hate that. And this is going to suck. And then I come back in the morning and I'm like, oh, those are cute.
What is that like? Just I'm like package out the door onto the next.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. Yeah. And I sometimes I realize that if you have a negative mindset going into the order, it's going to drag through the whole entire order.
So true.
So if you just like,
it's so true. Well, and there's times too where I'll pull my baker audience. I'm like, guys, I have this theme. Send me your ideas, please, because I have no clue. And I've gotten so many cute ideas from that then like spark the creativity of it.
Okay, I need to do that.
You do.
I really
do. Yeah, I had a cat set and somebody was like, little baskets. And I was like, yes, like baskets with yarn. There we go.
I remember that set. I loved that one.
Yeah.
When we're taking it back to the show and having that skill set. I know we could talk forever, you guys. Having that skill set in your back pocket. Was there a time in this new round with knowing that everybody has won? It's not like you all are kind of on an elevated playing field, that you were a little bit more critiquing of your designs and your cookie because you knew that everyone else had won theirs too. Did that ever cross your mind?
This group of people are so beyond talented. I think that's another thing, like besides the that I wasn't as stressed going into the second time, but just being next to these amazing cookie decorators that have all won before. That was just hard to be like, okay, how can I set myself apart and how can my cookie decorating look different than their cookie decorating?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
Have you changed your recipes much since the previous year or anything like that? Did you feel pressure to like do a lot of like prep work from that standpoint?
No, just because as like that year, there's like a gap in between last year and this year where I just, holidays, you try new recipes and you're like, okay, this is good. And then you just add it to the list. And so I felt confident in my baking a little bit more than my decorating, because who knows how that could have gone. But the recipes just kind of like were in the back of my mind the whole time. So
yes.
Did you find yourself glancing over? Because you guys, if you've watched the episode, Josh, who I competed with and who won my episode, competed with Miss Ashlee.
Yeah.
I remember I was stationed next to Josh and across from him. And I mean, you all are so amazing. And I can only speak because I competed directly with him. But I was like, what are you building over there? What is going on at your station?
No, I know. And that's exactly how I felt working with Josh too, because there was Kellen in the middle of us and then Josh was on the end.
Yeah.
And I would look over and I saw like glass doors being made. And I'm like, okay, I need to figure something out here.
Yes. It's always so intimidating. You're like, we were talking when Melissa interviewed me, that imposter syndrome that you feel on social media.
Yeah.
And then when you make it there, you're like, wait, are they like correct? Should I be here? Did you feel that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even though you've been on it, you won your round.
I know. I struggle with imposter syndrome so much. It's with Instagram and CookieCon. I talked a lot about imposter syndrome in my class. I just wish that the things that I say to people, I took more to heart too, because we all deserve to be where we're at. And
it's so hard with social media. And Chelsea and I have talked about this multiple times on episodes before, but it's just our worlds used to be so small and we had more of an opportunity to own our expertise in those smaller worlds. And we just weren't dealing with that. And then with social media, it's just, there's no longer smaller worlds. So it's just, there's multiple experts in everything. And so it's just, I feel very lucky that overall, for the majority, our community is so loving and supportive for the most part. And it's just, it's tough. It's tough. And we don't have to be the best. I think that's what's hard, is when you own your business. And still, like within my like neighborhood and in my city, like I'm known as like the cookie lady. Yeah. But for us, our worlds, like the cookie ladies are everywhere. It's so big.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
While you're on Instagram, you're consumed by them.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
I know. Well, that's amazing. So did you go back and binge watch episodes and like see winners to try and figure out like, okay, like I would have a list of the winners and be like deep diving.
I did that. Me and my husband just sat down and we were like, okay, so I know she's really good and I know he's really good. So they'll probably have one of these two. And I was right about one person.
Yeah. You knew that one.
That's it.
Yes.
Was there anybody that because I know I had somebody that I was like, oh gosh, please don't be competing against me. Was there anybody you were like, please don't? I was just
Lucy. Yes. She is amazing, you guys. Amazing.
She's so sweet.
Had you met her before?
No.
Okay.
No. So going into it, I was like looking at a cookie goddess. She is just
How cool is that? We talked about this last week too, but we haven't been to CookieCon yet. Hopefully this year. But yeah, just the experience of being surrounded with such like-minded, passionate people has to be so exhilarating.
Yes. Yeah. It was. I remember, so back to my little speech that I did in my class at CookieCon, the first year that I went, I had like a meltdown the second day and I was just crying. And I'm like, why am I crying at CookieCon? This is supposed to be like the happiest place ever. But I think I was just like overwhelmed with, there's 900 other people that do the exact same thing that I do. Yeah. And I was just like, it's a lot to take in, but afterwards I was like, I'm never missing another CookieCon again, because it's just an experience. But you just gotta like just keep in mind that you're gonna experience a lot of feelings while being there.
Yeah. That's so cool. So did you film on a different set this time than your previous one?
Yes. So previous one, it was in New Orleans, which was so fun.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
And then the second time was in Knoxville, Tennessee, which I love Tennessee, so that was fun.
Yes.
Oh, dang, I got California.
I know.
I was like, it's right here. I go here all the time.
I know. I got to, yeah, those two places were really, really fun to see. So.
Do you know, did they film you guys the same time that they filmed like this season?
Yeah.
So it's all, okay.
Yeah.
So from the first round to the second round, did you feel any different? You know, when you arrive that day, like your first day, the first round, you're like, oh my gosh, like you're kind of like scoping out who's there, all of that fun stuff. For your second round, did you feel any more like people, were they approaching you because you're such a pillar in the community that people look up to? Did you feel like, oh my gosh, people are saying hi to me? Like, was that an odd transition?
Yes, definitely. Very odd transition. I think the first time I don't know. I just, again, that imposter syndrome just really eats you alive, you guys. It really does. So the second time I was like, whoa, this is a lot different. And I'm getting better and I'm working on it. So it's all working out. But
yeah,
it is.
I
hard.
love that you're showing your face more now on your social media stories. Was that a large part?
I feel like we've seen your face so much from other aspects versus like your specific page. Does that make sense? Like I see your face more, I feel like with CookieCon. I was seeing it like from everybody's like Instagram.
I know. And I cried the first time on my Instagram story, which I never thought
I remember that
in my life, but I did. And I got so many messages just being like, thank you for being real with us. I'm sorry you're having a bad day, but it's nice to see that you're a real person. I'm like, of course I'm a real person. I have feelings just like everyone else, but it's weird to see that people think that, you know, I'm like this, I'm different than them when I'm really not. So
yeah. I love that. I love that. Is there anything, it could be from this past episode or when you did it last time, is there anything you would have done differently?
Put vanilla in my royal icing that I forgot to do. I don't know if they'll show that, but I forgot to put vanilla in my royal icing the first time that I was on.
Got it.
And
it still worked out for you.
Yeah, somehow. I don't know how that worked out, but it was the one with the Santa in a flying saucer.
Yes,
that one didn't have vanilla in my royal icing, but other than that, let me try to think back on this last time if I would do anything different. I would probably use a different grinder. With our secret ingredient, I've never used a grinder before, and I had to grind it myself. And I used 2 of them, and neither of them worked. So there was like little pieces of what was my secret ingredient?
I was just like, there's so many episodes now, they're blending together.
Not peppercorn, but clove. Well, I had to ground up clove.
Oh, clove.
So I tried, but it was hard.
Are you happy with how that recipe turned out with the secret ingredient?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Secret ingredients are so hard, you guys.
Yes.
My first episode.
Go ahead. Yeah. Like, what was your strategy with that? I asked Chelsea the same thing last week. I'm like, so do you have like kind of like a chocolate based one and a more mellow one that you can like fuse things into? Like, is there a strategy for that?
I was just praying for the best and hoping that my sugar cookie recipe could be transformed into this secret ingredient recipe. But you guys, I have never cracked open a passion fruit before. I was like, I know what a pomegranate was, but I know that those are like sour and not very sweet. So I didn't want to do that. And then we had coconuts, which I just felt like I didn't want to mess with breaking open a coconut either. So I took the passion fruit and I cut it open and I was like, okay, this is what a passion fruit looks like. Let's go. But it worked out because I just took the seeds and I strained them, and then I used that juice into my dough. So
yeah. Oh,
I had
so
told Melissa that. I was like, I remember prior, because I binge watched the seasons just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, do not give me something that is going to be chunked, like that is going to end up in my dough.
Yeah.
And do not give me anything hot, like these like chili peppers. And so I'm like,
see, I feel like spice you could easily add into a chocolate base.
Yeah, but everybody does that.
Spicy. Well, yeah.
That's the catch. Because that's what you're kind of thinking about. And Ashlee, correct me, like if maybe it's just my experience. You're kind of in that sense of, yeah, I could do that, but how many other people have done that?
And how can I step outside of the box?
Yes.
And be different?
What percentage do you think the judges put on the taste of the cookie versus the decorating? Like, what do you think is more important?
I want to say decorating.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea, but it might be like 60-40.
I would say you're pretty close on that, because on our round, people got eliminated based off of flavoring, even though the decorating was like par, but they're like, you missed the mark on this. And it's an all over presentation.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what they tried saying to people, like, yes, your design was beautiful, but your execution of this didn't. And they have to be somewhat in the same playing field.
Yeah.
So
and
that's, I think, what makes it, go ahead.
What was that? No, you go ahead.
It makes it hard when I was telling Melissa, like the underbake and the overbake, you're like, that's totally a personal preference, but one could not like an overbaked. And then one's like, oh, where, you know what I mean? It's such a mind trying to guess what people want.
I know. And I love a soft cookie. That's
like, me too. I'm like I'd rather it burn my tongue that it's like so out of the oven versus have like a hard crunchy cookie.
I know. And it's just all about their preference, because
I know.
I thought the first round, the very first episode that I was on, I thought, oh man, these are baked perfectly.
I actually remember that I think it was Ree or somebody was like, these are a little underdone.
Yeah. And I said, what? Are you sure? But, that's just another preference of mine. So
out of, I guess there's like 4 now, because you had the 2 in the first episode and the 2 in the last. What has been your favorite creation out of those 4?
My second challenge on the second episode.
The Yule log?
Second episode.
No, the
second episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With constructing, because I had to construct in my second challenge, I was telling Melissa, that's just not something that I do. Like, I'm working with flat lay cookies. And so
we're not gingerbread house cookiers.
No. Did you, I struggled with the construction because it's so hot in there, and it's something you don't take into account for that. Like, mine was melting, and I'd use tempered chocolate, and I'm like, I don't know what brand this. I don't know how to use this.
You guys, I used melted Jolly Ranchers to glue.
Ooh, smart
though.
It dries like glass. Like it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
My tablet kept like flipping.
Did you think about that before going on to the episode? About like what would you use in that case?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a feeling that since it's like the All-Star episode, we'd have to construct something.
Yeah.
So I heard gummy bears was a good one to use, but I personally didn't like it. It was just a gummy mess for me. But the Jolly Ranchers really just glued everything together. And then also working with really stiff consistency icing helped me a ton.
Yeah.
It's insane the way when constructing those, you're like, oh my God, am I doing this correct? Like, there's no way to stop and like Pinterest or YouTube or ask.
I know.
You're just
or like look up a recipe for something real quick, like you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bakery. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Eddie came over and he's like, what are you going to do in this? Like, because my box, the front part of it was falling off. Like, it literally just went and broke. I was like, all right, pivot. We're changing this.
Pivot.
I know. He's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't have time to think. I'm just going to keep going and pray that this turns out.
Oh, the baby.
1 sec. Okay.
I mean, he's iconic. He's in your stories. We see him all the time.
Yeah.
I love him. but he needs to be quiet right now.
Yeah.
Also, in my second challenge on the second episode, we had to make flames.
Yes.
Some like realistic flames. And
Yeah.
so I melted Jolly Ranchers onto a sheet. Actually, I think I used the clear candies. And I melted it onto a sheet of parchment paper.
Yes.
I put it in the oven. And what my plan was to take scissors and cut it out once it's like pliable and look like fun. And it came out of the oven and it stuck to the parchment everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So Ree was like yelling to me, hey, use a silicone mat. And so I used a silicone mat and it worked perfectly. So
oh, that's amazing.
Like Ree to the rescue.
Is Ree following you now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you die?
I died. I messaged her once and she liked it. She didn't reply, but that's okay.
And I feel like she runs her own social media. Like that's actually her.
I think so too.
I feel like it is.
But I never thought about her not running her own social media. So.
But that's the key, right?
Yeah.
That means whoever's doing it is doing an exceptionally well job.
I feel like she runs it.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. She followed me and I thought in that moment that I have made it, Mom. Mom, guess what? We made it.
Has there ever been somebody else besides Ree that liked your work or started following you when you just like fangirled out? Because I feel like you are that for a lot of other people.
Yeah. We all have our peeps.
Yeah.
So Sweet Cheeks by Renee.
I love her. I could totally see that, especially like with your style. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And making cookies is my favorite. Yeah. She's the best too.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of there's so many, you guys. Oh, Sugars by Leah.
Yes.
She's a queen.
She's awesome.
So when I was like, before I met them in person and they would like my picture or comment, I'd be like, what?
Yes. Especially for like, for full time, like, you know, like somebody who just like continues to run it and like, it's so clean and the work is so clean and still creative and fun, but like still like with the full time, I feel like that's because I don't necessarily look at like, I guess you guys have to look at things from a different perspective with that too, of like, not just like, ooh, fun, like whatever. Cause Sweet Treats by Renee is part-time too. Like she doesn't do that full time. So she can do like all of like the crazy stuff that like takes so much time versus you're also looking at it from like, I got to make money. This is my business. Like,
I know. And it's the stuff that I wish that I had more time for.
Yeah.
Like we have so many orders being full time that I'm like, man, I just wish that I had more time to experiment and try something new and different. Or
do you try and build that in for yourself ever?
I didn't know the answer to
like
this.
Okay, so for instance, the terrazzo technique.
Oh like, that came because I saw people doing like the wet on wet technique of it, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I was thinking the actual terrazzo technique is the exact same as my technique, but we're just using royal icing instead of glass or clay. And so that came, and I remember posting it on my stories and showing each step and being like, I hope this works out. You know? But it really did work out. So that's
amazing.
And that's the only reason why I got to do that was because I wasn't taking any orders because I was going to CookieCon and our honeymoon and our wedding, and I just haven't been baking near as much as I used to. Yeah.
Do you get the cookie burnout?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And what are kind of like some of your tricks and stuff for that?
Stop scrolling.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I feel, there's totally times when we have the burnout. And so you're scrolling to try and find inspiration, but sometimes taking a step back from everything is what needs to happen. I love that.
Just close that door and just, I think, figure out why you're burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good one because I could be burnt out from a million different reasons, working with customers or having too many pop-ups or having too many orders or just not loving my orders.
Yeah.
So figure out why you're burnt out and then try to solve that, like a little puzzle, like being
Yeah.
well, can I take in one extra set and have it be a really cute theme, and then that could bring me joy, and then maybe that'll get me out of my little rut that I'm having.
Yeah. Or like take a class or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Those
Yeah.
always reinvigorate me, is taking a class.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's great advice.
I hope so.
It is. Do you ever feel with being a full-time baker, because I know we all have gorgeous sets that you're posting and input of others, do you ever feel with looking at social media, you're like, dang it, I just wish I could do that to my set, but realistically, you know the time that's involved. You're like that.
And you got to make money.
At that level, you know?
Yeah.
Do you ever have that where you're like, I could do that, but I just don't have the time to do that?
Yes. Yeah. If I had an hour more on each set, oh man, I'd be loving life. But
yeah,
just with baking and decorating, and then excuse me, hold on 1 second. Baking and decorating, and then coming home, and then having to cook dinner, and then we have the storefront, and then I have to email people back, and I have to send invoices, and then I have to send tracking numbers because which I'm not doing anymore. Okay.
Good for you.
You're not shipping anymore?
No, ma'am.
Good. That takes so much time
and stress.
Yes.
Tracking numbers. Can you guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Someone's walking by.
It's okay. We all have the fur babies. I
know. I'm just so excited for this storefront. Chelsea, when are we going to plan our trip up there?
I know. We should go for a launch.
Okay, get back.
Hello, friend.
Baby.
I'm wearing my. Oh, Murphy. We are on live recording, and he's just. Wow.
This is real life, guys. We told you.
I love
That's
it.
why it's the cookie tap. We get real. This is real.
Oh my gosh. Okay. He doesn't
Hi,
know that
friend.
I'm
Hi,
on
little
live
buddy.
recording. So sorry.
No, you're fine.
Baby. That's okay.
Do you have an anticipated launch date of your storefront?
Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully, end of November. You guys. Yeah. It's gonna be like,
Loves you. He's like your cheerleader. You guys, welcome to the life we live. Ash is like, this is what it's like to be a fur mom.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, now you got to really see.
That's amazing. Oh, I love it.
These are the stories y'all don't see that we delete when they happen.
I know.
Yeah, that would never go into my stories, okay? And you guys got to see firsthand. I'm so sorry. Okay,
you are fine. He's like, I have time to play. Well, we won't keep you too much longer because we know someone needs their attention.
Somebody needs attention. We get it.
Wow.
So what does it feel like to be a champion, knowing that you are the ultimate cookie challenge champion? Like, how does that feel?
Nobody has gone further than you on that show.
The bar has been set.
That's the coolest part, I think, is just being like, okay, not like I've made it or anything, but just, Murphy, please, just give me
Girl, wait till they're like little humans. It's.
I don't know if I could deal with another one of this type, but
I say our dog is more work than our kids.
Yeah. Isn't it just crazy? They're like your kid, but you're like, man, you're a lot of work. Yeah. I don't even have kids yet, so I don't know. But back to being an all-star. I, not to say that I like made it or anything, but just being like, I can't compete anymore because I'm the all-star.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I'm sure they could call me back for some other show, which maybe I would do, maybe I won't, because I don't know about filming again. But
we saw what happened last time you said that.
I know. That's true. So maybe if they call me in like 3 months, I'll say yes.
Give you some time to recover.
Yeah, just a little recovery.
Yeah.
Okay. Get down where you guys.
You're good.
Wow.
Ashlee,
we'll give you, do you want a moment? And we'll talk about what's coming up next. We'll remove you and add you back in.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
All right, Miss Melissa. obviously we're not doing Bake of the Week this week.
We're not. We're trying to keep those current. So we will be sharing those on our stories and on our feed.
Yes.
But we will definitely be continuing to share in our stories, just Chelsea and I chugging through on all of our pre-sales and all of our fun things that we have coming up. And I definitely want to be seeing every single one of your Christmas trees in detail, multiple angles.
I need to do the whole like Christmas tree tour.
You do. I feel like we need to make some cookie chat ornaments, right?
Please, you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so last year, Christmas, I am in survival mode when it comes to cookies.
Right.
It's insane. So my goal was last year is to take my samples and let them become hardened ornaments.
Oh, I love that.
It didn't work out because I needed cookie tray space. And I was like, oh, dump and go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add Ashlee back into the stream in a sec.
Okay.
I was going to dump and go. We're going to add her back in. Hey.
Oh, I see a gate.
But it's okay. We have all those.
Yeah.
He's in puppy jail.
Yeah. Well, he always barks when people walk by. We live on like a main street.
Oh, yeah.
He always barks. So I was trying to avoid that and then take him out. But you see how that went. So
yes, we were just talking about, I feel like we need some cookie chat ornaments this year.
Yes. I
wanted on my Christmas tree, I was saying for my cookie room was to take my Christmas samples from last year, allow them to harden, like so it's actual cookie.
Yeah.
And use that to decorate my tree. Didn't work out because I dumped them and I was like, oh man, I want to save those. So you guys, if anybody wants to mail me like a cookie from their Christmas decorations or their samples, I will make them into my ornaments. And
I love that.
And
I feel like our dog would eat ours.
Oh yeah. I've always had small dogs. This is my first one with Oakley's a pit bull.
Yeah.
So we have a bigger, but possibly, but still send away. And Melissa and I should totally work on
guys.
The
hopefully by the time this airs, we'll have something in the works.
I hope so too. I'll be the first to order.
Oh, thanks, girl.
We love it. Well, we know you are busy and we so appreciate your time here.
I know. And Ashlee, we're just so proud of you. There's just, you're hitting so many goals of yours and it just makes us so happy for you. And
thank you guys.
Thank you for all you do for our community too.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for what you do for our community. I swear you guys are just like soaring so high. I'm so proud of both of you guys.
Thanks, girl.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Is there anything you want to end with and tell people who are coming up on seasons or are going to be presented the opportunity? What would you tell Ashlee back then?
Work on your speed.
Mm-hmm.
Be as creative as possible. Think outside the box and use a different recipe than you normally would use. So use something like if you're going to do a sugar cookie, add something to it. Make it like pop.
Yeah.
What was your recipe that you created for the show?
For this one, I did a lemon cardamom cookie.
Ooh, yum.
And then for my first episode, I called it Mexico Morning. So it was almond slices, cinnamon, Mexican vanilla, and I forget what else, but it was really good.
Yum.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations on another successful round. And we just loved watching and learning. And hopefully you all had a chance to see her episode already.
Yay!
Well, thank you so much. And we look forward to everything that comes from SweetDoughCookieCo.
Thank you. Sorry about
Thank you, Ashlee.
Oh, no, anytime. And we would love to have you back for a decorating episode.
Hey, 2022, what up?
What? Sign me up.
Yes, anytime.
Yes, I would love that.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Ash. Have a wonderful night.
Bye, Ashlee.
See you online. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, she's such a joy. We can sit with her all day.
We can. Well, girl, we've made it through another interview. You guys, these episodes are cranking out. We hope you're enjoying them. We hope that
you guys are fulfilling all those holiday orders.
Yes.
And hope that these give you guys some energy and some laughs as you're doing those late nights or early mornings, or just the 20th day in a row.
You're in the thick of it. There is no time any longer. Yeah. So we love that. But we appreciate you. Next week, we have even more fun coming your way. The jolly joys of the season are just ringing in.
And again, we will be, hit us up in our stories with any questions or comments. Subscribe. Oh, yes.
Bring the bell notifications. What is this?
Subscribe. That's what they do, right? They point down. Subscribe below.
Subscribe, ring the bell, turn alerts on to all.
Yes, comment, share, all of that fun stuff.
We love it. Well, you guys, I am Chelsea with Rolling in the Dough AZ.
I'm Melissa with Missy P Sweets. May your cakes never be dry.
And your icing be shiny and crater free. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, y'all.